In the bustling heart of Manila, where jeepneys honk and vendors shout to sell their goods, a young boy named Arvin stands at a busy street corner with nothing but an old guitar borrowed from a neighbor. His small hands strum nervously, but the moment he opens his mouth, everything changes. His voice, raw, soulful, and filled with emotion far beyond his years, cuts through the noise of the city. People carrying groceries pause, taxi drivers roll down their windows, and vendors stop shouting just to listen. Arvin is only 12 years old, yet he sings like someone who has lived 1,000 lives. Every note carries the weight of his struggles, a childhood without toys, schoolbooks shared with cousins, and nights where he and his mother sleep hungry. He doesn't sing for fame, he sings to earn a few coins so his mother can sell enough fruit to pay rent. One humid evening, while Arvin sings a heartfelt version of Hotel California, a tourist filming on his phone captures the magic. The boy's pure, trembling voice fills the air, and tears well in the eyes of strangers passing by. The tourist posts the video online with the caption, "This boy deserves the world to hear him." Overnight, Arvin's voice crosses oceans. The video racks up millions of views, shared by celebrities, musicians, and ordinary people alike. A few days later, something happens that Arvin and his mother never imagined possible. An email arrives from the producers of America's Got Talent. They want him to audition in Los Angeles. With nothing but hope, his community rallies together, raising money for his plane ticket. For the first time in his life, Arvin steps onto an airplane, his heart pounding, carrying dreams bigger than himself. The bright lights of Hollywood shine down as Arvin steps onto the massive stage of America's Got Talent. The 12-year-old boy, dressed in a simple shirt and worn shoes, looks tiny against the enormous backdrop. His heart races as thousands of eyes fix on him, and for a moment, he feels the same fear he used to feel when singing on the busy streets of Manila, only now, the world is watching. Simon Cowell leans forward and asks gently, "What's your name? Where are you from?" Arvin answers softly, his accent heavy, his English a little broken. He explains that he sings on the streets to help his mother. The audience grows quiet, sensing the weight behind his words. The music starts, Hotel California, and the room holds its breath. At first, his voice trembles, but within seconds it blooms into something extraordinary, deep, soulful, and filled with emotion. Every lyric seems to carry a story, every note soaked with truth. The theater grows still, as though time itself has paused. Halfway through the song, tears glisten in the eyes of Heidi Klum and Sofia Vergara. Even Simon, usually stoic, wipes at his eyes, visibly moved. The crowd begins to cheer before the song even ends, and by the final haunting note, the entire audience is on its feet in a thunderous standing ovation. Suddenly, something unprecedented happens. All four judges slam the golden buzzer at once. Golden confetti rains from the ceiling as Arvin drops his guitar and covers his face, overwhelmed by emotion. His mother, watching backstage, rushes out and embraces him tightly, both of them crying uncontrollably. That night, a poor boy from Manila doesn't just sing a song, he changes his life forever. The moment Arvin's golden buzzer performance airs, the world falls in love with him. Clips of his trembling yet powerful rendition of Hotel California flood the internet, with millions of views pouring in within hours. Social media explodes with hashtags like #GoldenBoyArvin and #VoiceFromTheStreets. Celebrities tweet about him, music critics praise his raw authenticity, and fans from across the globe send messages of encouragement. Back in Manila, his small community gathers in front of televisions and phones to watch the replay. Neighbors cheer, some wiping away tears, unable to believe that the little boy who once sang at street corners is now on the world's biggest stage. Fruit vendors proudly tell customers, "That's our boy." Arvin's story becomes a symbol of hope, proof that even from the humblest beginnings, greatness can rise. But along with the fame comes overwhelming attention. News reporters crowd outside his mother's small rented home, and sponsors begin offering opportunities. Arvin and his mother are suddenly staying in hotels, something unimaginable only weeks before. For the first time, Arvin has his own bed, fresh clothes, and food on the table without worrying where it will come from. Despite the whirlwind, Arvin remains humble. In interviews, he says softly, "I just sing from my heart. I only want to make my mother proud." His sincerity melts hearts, making him even more beloved. Yet, as the semi-finals draw near, pressure builds. The internet buzzes with expectations. Can the boy who stunned the world once do it again? Behind his shy smile, Arvin feels the weight of carrying not only his own dream, but the hopes of millions who now believe in him. The stage is waiting, and the real test of his journey has just begun. As the semi-finals approach, Arvin feels the enormous weight of expectation pressing down on his young shoulders. Gone are the days of singing freely on the street corners of Manila. Now, every rehearsal is surrounded by cameras, producers, and vocal coaches reminding him that millions will be watching. Though grateful, Arvin feels a constant knot in his stomach. What if he fails? What if his first performance was just luck? During practice sessions, his voice cracks under pressure, and he breaks down in tears backstage. He whispers to his mother, "Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't belong here." His mother kneels beside him, holding his trembling hands, and says gently, "Anak, you were singing before the world noticed. You sing not to impress, but to share your heart. That is enough." Encouraged, Arvin gathers himself for the big night. When the curtain rises, the theater falls silent once again. Instead of a popular Western song, Arvin chooses something deeply personal. He begins with a beloved Filipino ballad, then seamlessly transitions into English, blending cultures and showing the world his roots. His haunting voice floats across the hall, rising with strength and breaking with emotion, every note wrapped in sincerity. The audience reacts instantly, cheering mid-performance. By the end, the judges are on their feet. Simon Cowell calls it one of the bravest choices I've ever seen on this stage, while Howie Mandel says, "You didn't just sing, you told the world who you are." Arvin advances to the finals. As confetti and applause surround him, he smiles through tears, realizing he no longer sings just for survival. He sings to represent his country, his people, and every dreamer who has ever felt small. The night of the finals arrives, and the atmosphere inside the theater is electric. Millions of viewers across the world tune in, eager to see if the boy from Manila who once sang on the streets can capture hearts one last time. Backstage, Arvin holds his mother's hand tightly, his face pale but determined. She whispers, "No matter what happens, you've already won." As the stage lights dim, Arvin steps into the spotlight. The first notes of Hotel California begin, but this time the arrangement is different. An orchestra swells behind him, and midway through the performance, he surprises everyone by switching to Tagalog, blending his culture into the world-famous song. His voice soars, filled with power, purity, and emotion. The theater grows silent, many in the audience visibly crying. By the final note, the entire hall erupts in cheers, applause thundering like a storm. The judges stand, their faces filled with awe. Heidi calls it a performance that will be remembered for years. Sophia says, "You didn't just sing, you made history tonight." Simon, with tears in his eyes, tells Arvin, "You came here as a boy from the streets, but you are leaving as a true artist." This was perfection. Confetti rains down, and Arvin bows deeply, overwhelmed with emotion. Though the voting results have yet to be announced, it no longer matters. His journey has already transformed his life. From sleeping on concrete floors to standing on one of the world's greatest stages, Arvin has shown that dreams know no limits. As he embraces his mother in the center of the stage, the world watches not just a singer, but a story of hope, resilience, and the power of a song to change everything.